Do you like Marvel movies? Their current work is a little too shitty for my taste, but when Iron Man came out in 2008, they really came into their own, both commercially and financially.
The following is a world-class Bullshitters exclusive.
I'm finding it incredibly difficult to care about these films, watch the shows, or read the books. After a string of terrible content, I'm ready to hang it up. I've been a lifelong comic fan, I make them myself, and I've lived through the golden age of the superhero movie and show, but the time has come to say farewell to one of the biggest money-making endeavors in Hollywood history. It started with a decline in quality. Pretty much everything after Endgame has been forgettable. Of course, there are bright spots, but superhero films are just a chore to get through. Secret Invasion is just a few weeks old, and its rancid flavor is still fresh on my palate. It's a blend of Cool Ranch Doritos and Rotten Tomatoes, and it will not go away no matter how many times I've brushed, flossed, or gargled with acid and gasoline. The MCU junk food I've been force-fed has offered no value, and I'm ready to purge it from my system. But alas, there is more, and it seems like the worst meal the chefs over at the MCU kitchen have ever cooked up. But before we get to that appetizing pile of shit, today's video is brought to you by me, Jeff Hicks, and my graphic novel Stealing Solo. If you want comic book entertainment I guarantee you'll enjoy, go to stealingsolo.com after the video. Stealing Solo asks the greatest what-if question of all time. What if a group of disgruntled Star Wars fans kidnap Harrison Ford and force him to remake Star Wars in their basement? That, and a whole lot more, is answered in Stealing Solo, a Captain's Parody. Stealing Solo has been called Laugh Out Loud Funny and the greatest Star Wars parody since Spaceballs, and it's available now for a limited time only. Go to stealingsolo.com, which is powered by Shopify, so you get the reward-winning safety and security, and get yourselves a copy today. Once we sell through this limited backstock, I'm going back to the drawing board to bring you the sequel, which parodies Luke Skywalker's fall from grace, and finally the closing chapter, which I can't wait to get to, Frankenfisher, the Bride of Solo. And yes, it's exactly what you think it is. So folks, the only way to get that is go to stealingsolo.com right now, get yourselves a copy, and enjoy the greatest Star Wars parody since Spaceballs. Thank you to those who have a copy, thank you to those who will get a copy, and for those who were wondering around the world, it'll be available internationally by August 9th. Remember folks, stealingsolo.com. And now, back to the video. Let's just cut to the chase. The Marvels is going to be terrible. The first film Captain Marvel was, but the White Knights Online fought anyone who said otherwise. After the film suspiciously made a lot of money, the sequel was eventually announced, and it quickly became the most disliked trailer in the history of YouTube. The hype and the hate died down rather quickly, but as we get closer to the release date, things are taking a familiar turn for the worse, and it's quite hilarious. During an interview with Total Film, the Marvel's director, Nia DaCosta, admitted superhero fatigue is a very real issue for comic book movies. However, DaCosta believes the Marvels is different enough to stand out from the rest of the pack. She says, the biggest difference from the other MCU movies to date is that it's really wacky and silly, she explains. The worlds we go to in this movie are worlds unlike you've ever seen in the MCU. Bright worlds that you haven't seen before. Well, there is a film called Thor the Dark World, so she's not lying there. Wacky and silly. More like whack and sus if you ask me. How does the director think that these are enticing words to the audience? It's a bit late to try to make the lead of the film fun. After the last few years have painted the actress as stern and unlikable, the whole strong female angle is about no smiles, no laughs, and no growth. What changed? Oh, the fact that those characters are massively disliked and fail to hook people. The Marvels has a lot of work ahead of itself if they think audiences will buy something wacky and silly featuring Breebot. Stern and mean are her adjectives, and what haven't we seen from superhero films already? There have been talking trees, talking cybernetic animals, living planets, green rage monsters, shrinking people, microscopic subspaces, shitty CGI, bad jokes, and a guy who sticks to walls. What's this film going to offer? 3 women together? Avengers Endgame gave us this incredibly tacky scene, so 3 women who swap powers like an intergalactic tag team wrestling match isn't going to be enough. Audiences want something new or something old that hasn't been in film before. Look at Barbie. That movie is breaking records. Is Disney hoping the Marvels will do the same numbers? Of course they are. That's why they're using the same female-centric talking points. The executive producer of this film, a woman named Mary Livanos, recently revealed that the film was designed to target women from all walks of life. If people target women, it usually makes them a predator, so is the Marvels a predator? I mean, Disney owns predators, it's not like they're going to get sued. Speaking with Total Film about the upcoming MCU project is where she first contrasted the Marvels with an Avengers film. She said the Avengers movie are these epic conclusions to chapters of storytelling, whereas this is a team-up within the narrative that we didn't necessarily expect for Marvel. Usually, you wait for the characters to show up all together in an Avengers movie. She then revealed the film was designed so that women can relate to it. We're excited to design a team-up featuring characters so that women from all walks of life could relate to it. So what you're telling me is these are B-list, C-list, D-list, Z-list characters that wouldn't suffice for an Avengers team? Got it. And so you heard it here first, guys. This film is not for us to relate to, which is their way of insulating it from criticism. If we pay to see it, we don't like it, we're just supposed to shut up. That's not how discourse works. Why is it that these crappy movies hide behind this bullshit? Well, it's obvious, because they're not very good and they want to make people who talk about these look bad. What a brilliant tactic. It's not anything to get mad over, it's just quite pathetic on their part. Marvel has a stinker, and it's not going to turn out well for them. The anti-anything approach never works, and it'll be interesting to see if Marvel ramps this up the closer we get to the film. They've already lost their IMAX screens thanks to Dune 2 Electric Boogaloo, and if the strike continues, there won't be any actors promoting the film. That may be the best thing for them. I know we'll all miss the cringe associated with the movie, but less is more with Brie Larson. For now, it seems like the Marvels will be a dud of a film. People aren't angry enough to care, excited enough to watch, or even curious enough to learn more. Marvel has an inert film on its hands. What does that mean for the superhero genre as a whole? Well, a slew of bad ones will kill the genre. DC is already rebooting again, and Marvel is stuck with this lineup for the next few years. Pulling the plug is admitting defeat, which Disney will not do. Wacky and Silly will not put butts in seats, but it will make for a spectacular train wreck. So folks, I want to know what you think about this. Wacky and Silly. Has it got you excited for the Marvels? Look, I don't give a shit about the Marvel. There's nothing to get excited for, but I really want to know what you guys think about it. This channel continues to document the decline in Western entertainment, and it's been a doozy. It's been a nice steep slope. If you rode this at a theme park, you wouldn't ask for your money back because this is one hell of a roller coaster ride. I, for one, will be looking forward to seeing how this film plays out come November. So folks, hit that subscribe button to make sure you don't miss out on anything we put out in the lead up to the Marvels. And if you need more Marvels content, which I don't think you do, so I'm not even going to finish that statement. But if you want to hear why the first Captain Marvel sucked so hard, go back and check out the video playlist about the Captain Marvel saga. We covered it here, we covered it the best, and you guys really, really liked it. But folks, I gotta get out of here. I'll be back next time with more. After this video, go to stealingsolo.com and get yourself a comic book that you'll actually want to see adapted into a movie. It answers the greatest what-if story of all time. What if a group of disgruntled Star Wars fans kidnap Harrison Ford and force him to remake Star Wars in their basement? That and a whole lot more happens in Stealing Solo, a Captain's Parody, only available at stealingsolo.com. The website is powered by Shopify, so you get the award-winning safety and security, and I ship out books each and every weekday. So folks, I'm going to go take care of that right now. I got a big old stack to take to the post office, and we've just finished another case of books. So there's only a few left. Get those before they're gone forever. Thank you to everyone who's already picked up a copy, and if you're about to, thank you as well. So folks, thank you for watching. Be smart, be safe, be cool, but always be excellent to each other. Thanks for watching today's video. Yes, it's over, but don't cry because there's more, a lot more from World Class Bullshitters. And there's only one way to get it. Hit that subscribe button below. When you do that, you'll get notifications and updates from World Class Bullshitters every time we go live. Basically, you won't miss anything. And if there's one thing I hate, it's FOMO. But the thing most people hate more than FOMO is fear of missing out on World Class Bullshitters because there's just some things you can't undo. So folks, do yourselves a favor and never miss anything from World Class Bullshitters. One last thing before you go, hit the thumbs up button. Not for our egos, no, they're big enough as this, but it does help us fight the algorithm here, and well, it's man versus machine, and that's the real fight. But if that's not your battle, that's okay. There's one last way you can help WCBS, and that's going over to shopwcbs.com, picking up a t-shirt, a beer glass, a sweatshirt, a poster, all sorts of ways to back WCBS. The difference between us and other YouTube channels is I'm the artist that makes all this stuff, so if you enjoy art, beyond t-shirts, you can even read our comic books. We got it all. We're called the epitome of pop culture for a reason, and no, again, it's not for our egos. So folks, make sure you're involved with every aspect of World Class Bullshitters, not just for us, but do it for yourself. We're making the change in entertainment everybody out there wants to see. And a special thank you goes out to all of our wonderful patrons who make this content possible. Go to patreon.com/worldclassbs to get involved and help out the channel.